Hello, everyone. Welcome to the IEEE Computer Society Santa Clara Valley chapter. Uh, we have two exciting talks today on very interesting topics. So folks on the Zoom are able to hear me and see the screen properly. You can give a thumbs up. Okay, I think we are good. So I just want to give a brief introduction to the chapter, followed by the talks. Uh, So most of the events that the chapter organized in the last few years were online. They were broadcasted live. Thanks to the pandemic, we discovered a better way to do meetings online and broadcasting live. And then most of the events, most of the talks at least, were made available on IEEE.TV. We featured distinguished visitors and international speakers from several countries. We have Ask Me Anything series going on. And then we brought NFIC, the New Frontiers in Computing. It's a half-a-day seminar. It is in its 26th year. It was originally organized in Stanford. We are continuing to do that from last year onwards. During the pandemic, we had to take a break, but now we are back into Stanford, and this year's NFIC will be in Stanford on the 31st of May. We have a great lineup of speakers and topics. The theme of the seminar is Responsible AI. So please check vTools. That's our registration website going forward. So please check vTools and register if you are in town on that day. It's a Friday on May 31st. So last year in 2023, we did a conference, a full-fledged conference. We technically co-sponsored this conference. It's Silicon Valley Cybersecurity Conference. So the proceedings were indexed by IEEE Explore. So that was completely new to the chapter. And then last year, we also did the International Conference on Applied Data Science, where speakers from, I think, 4 countries or 5 countries participated. And this year, again, we are going to have that in July. And then we started a podcast channel where we featured podcasts on multiple topics related to mostly artificial intelligence, but we are open to featuring other talks as well, other topics as well. And then the chapter magazine Feed Forward that we started 3 years back is in its 3rd year. We have a good pipeline of articles. We are on social media. A couple of years back, we started pages on LinkedIn and Facebook. So please feel free to follow the pages and join the groups. We also have groups. The groups have been there for a long time. And on Twitter particularly, we have 12,300 followers. There's a chapter mailing list you can join for future updates. In terms of memberships, this used to be probably still the biggest chapter in the world, at least one of the biggest chapters in the world. So Computer Society, at least it's probably the second biggest chapter in the section from what I heard last. So we have around 1,186 members, paid members, out of which 37 of them are IEEE fellows. One of them will be speaking at the NFIC conference on 31st of May at Stanford. Then we have 125 senior members, and we are trying to improve the diversity and ethnicity and stuff like that. So it is still work in progress, because as you can see from the bar charts and the pie chart, it's not entirely diverse. We have elections every year. It will be coming up, the call for nominations will be coming up, I think, in September or October. So we are looking for candidates. Just look out for the call. We have one or more events every month. Most of them are online, just a couple of them, one or two of them in person like this. But otherwise, most of them are online. And we celebrate IEEE Day. So last year we celebrated it. It's typically in October, and we celebrated it with a panel discussion on ethical AI. Then we started an awards program in 2022. So we recognized a couple of folks since then as industry rising stars. So the call for the awards is open for this year. So please feel free to nominate a colleague or someone who you know very well and who deserves this award. So the Feed Forward quarterly magazine is going strong. We published quite a few interesting articles. So please feel free to contribute to the magazine. And then we have the ICATs coming up in July. The 26th, last year's was the 25th New Frontiers in Computing seminar, half-a-day seminar. Last year, we focused on quantum computing. And this year, we are focusing on ethical minefield of generative AI. So last year, Yu Young Wang, he's a renowned author on quantum computing. So he was a speaker at the event. And this year, Ricardo Baeza Yates. As a student, I followed his book, and I really, one of the best books that I have followed. So I invited him, and he kindly agreed. So he'll be there to speak on the 31st of May at the NFIC. So in terms of leadership, I am the chapter chair, Vishnu Pendyala. S.R. Venkatraman is our vice chair. Srinivas Vennapareddy is here in the room. He is our treasurer. Meenakshi Jindal is the secretary. And we have a bunch of volunteers helping us as well. But having said that, we are still looking for volunteers, particularly for the editorial support for the Feed Forward magazine and social media, publicity. And more importantly, I need a replacement in a year. So I'm looking for a replacement. So somebody needs to step up in this 1.5 years to really take over my role. So please feel free to volunteer. And that concludes the brief presentation on the chapter. So we move on to the